Master Chief is called.
I'm Adam Sessler, and I'm very happy to be joined by Bonnie Ross and Josh Holmes, both of 343 Industries, talking about Halo 5 Guardians. Congratulations. I assume it's nice to finally show something that's been so anticipated as this game.
Yeah, showing things today, especially showing Warzone, something that we've been working on for over 3 years, was pretty amazing. And I mean, it's huge for us.
And how long have you been kind of thinking about and working on Halo 5 Guardians?
It's been 3 years. So, when we finished up Halo 4, we started thinking about what is the game that we're going to build for this next generation console with the Xbox One. And with Halo 5 Guardians, this is the first game that has been built from the ground up with that console in mind.
I mean, obviously there must be interesting challenges. Halo 4 was trying to push the franchise in a new direction after obviously kind of the sense of resolution of Halo 3. But then there's new technology, there's a new console out there. When you were making Halo 4, were you almost trying to hedge against what you thought might be coming next?
Yeah, I mean, in both story, like leaving it off as sort of a cliffhanger so we could pick it up with the next console, but also thinking about what can we do, not just with what we do with the next gameplay, but what can we do with the next technology and rebuilding the engine for a next-gen console, which just opens up possibilities for us.
Now, I mean, it's interesting. Halo started on the original Xbox. Obviously, it moved on to the Xbox 360. I don't know how many other franchises have kind of bounced from so many advancements in technology. You still have to keep the flavor of what people knew all the way back in 2001, but obviously have all the new bells and whistles to kind of say, hey, it's worth buying a new console.
Yeah, I think what we've tried to do with Halo 5 Guardians is take the essence of Halo and kind of just expand. And with our campaign, we've got a campaign that has been built for four-player co-op, 4-player seamless drop-in, drop-out co-op. And that's really changed the way that you play that experience. And then with Warzone, which is our brand new multiplayer experience, it's just bigger than anything that you've ever experienced in Halo before. It's like every part of Halo brought into one massive multiplayer experience. And that's something we could never do without the power of the Xbox One and the cloud.
Is Warzone and Halo 5 Guardians, is this a game that you could have had in your imagination way back in the early 2000s? Or is it, like, it really took kind of seeing what technology could do to start to have the imagination of where you're going to go with it?
Yeah, I would say the imagination of actually trying to create an epic sci-fi world with epic battles has always been there. But I think it wasn't until Xbox One that the team could really think about how they could make that happen. So new technology opens up possibilities for what we can do creatively.
In the single-player demo that we saw, obviously you're not playing as Master Chief. That can be a challenging thing. I mean, was that something that you guys discussed or thought about? It was always going to be, a done deal that you were not going to rely upon just the primary character that's always been associated with the franchise.
For the last 7 years, we've been paving the way for where we wanted to go with Halo 5 and actually building up a character base where we have a diverse set of perspectives. Like, it is a first-person shooter. You can only tell so much story through Master Chief. So for us, getting to where we could actually start to tell the story from different perspectives, especially the intimate story that we want to tell with Halo 5, it was pretty important. It was deliberate in setting the stage, but the game is something that, Josh's team really focused on how they wanted to bring that to life.
Obviously, we know Master Chief is a character, but I can't say that he's a fully fleshed, characterized character. It's a lot of sort of the player imposing themselves on him. What we see here is you guys have taken on who these characters are and you're articulating them. You have to be approaching story in a much different way.
I think certainly, like, one of the things we wanted to do with Master Chief was explore him more deeply. And the way that you do that is by applying a different lens to him, and that's part of what Spartan Locke is able to do. He's that outside perspective. He's coming in and trying to learn about the Chief, and as he does that, the player learns also. So that, I think is a big difference. And then trying to tell a story with 8 main characters is a huge challenge, and it's something that has really forced us to change the way we approach storytelling and find the time and the moments to let those characters come to life.
I mean, it's interesting that as you're playing Spartan Locke and you're kind of regarding the history of the Master Chief, in some other ways it's almost like you're regarding the history of the franchise itself. I mean, do you get that sense of self-reflexivity that you're kind of honoring the legacy of a very important gaming franchise?
Yeah, Yeah, I think for us it is just about telling a holistic story, and it is almost about looking at Master Chief and sort of his hero's journey and where we're going, and how do we want to tell that story, and what characters are going to bring that to life. And especially what you'll see more, which we didn't show today, is more with Blue Team. I think you're going to kind of see like who his family is and how he's thinking. So we've got a lot of stories to tell.
So with Warzone, I mean, yeah, there's obviously all the fiction of the universe and the single player. The multiplayer is so important to this franchise. Once again, there's got to be a sense of how much do you need to do what people are used to, and there has to be just a creative desire to try to advance it and push that envelope.
Yeah, I mean, Warzone is something that the team started talking about back on Halo 4, and it's something that we started working on in earnest 3 years ago. And it's sort of bringing together all these different elements of Halo, but it's also, it's testing new waters in bringing sort of elements of MOBA into a Halo experience, and having bosses that you can go out and do battle with, and bases that you can go and capture, and all of these endless possibilities in the ways that you can go about trying to win this mode. And that's been really exciting for us to explore as a team creatively. And it's also been really challenging over the last 3 years to kind of boil it down and get it to something that plays just right. So it's really exciting to be able to show it here at E3 and really be proud of what the team's accomplished.
So, Bonnie, I think it's an understatement to say that Halo has a passionate fan base. So what do you do to sort of keep people encouraged and excited when you guys are taking on something that's ambitious like Warzone, and something that you guys really do believe in and you want people to get excited about?
Yeah, for us it was actually sort of like building the foundation with Halo 4 and just learning how to build Halo. And I think for us, we want to push it, we want to figure out what is the core with Halo, but also be able to authentically push it forward. And for us, that is the next stage with Halo 5, is actually taking what we learned, figuring out what we really need to keep with its core Halo, and then how do we innovate, because Halo is about innovation. And for us, I feel like when you look at Arena, you've got something that competitive players want. And you look at Warzone, and this is, I think, something for everyone.
It's still funny. I look back on playing the original Halo in 2001, and it was an oddity to have a first-person shooter on a console, and now it's something that's very, very commonplace. And it really is because of that level of innovation that started way back then. So I gotta say, I'm quite excited for Halo 5 Guardians. Thank you so much for your time, Josh and Bonnie.